It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24.
We are live. It is 7 p. on Monday. The place to be at is Talking Racing Now. I'm Sean Stanley. That is the great Spencer O'Neill, and we are here to talk a little bit about the race we just saw, the Mobile One 301, one of the shorter races actually in NASCAR. It was in New Hampshire, and as the title says, it was every driver for themselves, baby. Spencer, how you doing tonight, man?
I am doing good, Sean. Doing excellent.
Good deal, good deal. Real quick, without jumping too deep into everything, good race, bad race, where did it fall on the Spencer meter?
Medium race.
Okay, all right.
I'd say it was medium.
All right.
I mean, there was some good racing. They finally started showing some of the action further back in the field, a little bit later in the race. I felt like there was a lot of good racing back there we didn't get to see because they focused on the front. The passing took 20, 30, 40 laps to complete or kind of work up to. So we kind of saw a little bit of that again, which was whatever. Saw different race cars driving differently with different abilities. So not everyone was even, which is always good. Obviously the Penske cars minus Austin Cindric, really performed well. The Fords performed well. I heard they did some testing in June that maybe some other people didn't do that kind of gave them a leg up in New Hampshire. Kind of seems smart to go do testing in places that are later in the playoffs than,
Yeah. And it showed. I mean, they were the cars to beat when you look at everything the way it went down, I mean, we were talking off screen, and you were saying, the top three cars were the 12, the 22, and the 21, which I believe is now an extension of, you know,
Penske. Yeah, the Woods brothers, they work real close to
I wanted
Penske.
to say Yates. I wanted to say Yates, but it's Penske. I couldn't think of the damn name for a minute. I was like, oh, drawing a blank. But so the only car that didn't really drive well was yours.
Yeah, he was mired in the
Out of
back
that
the whole
group,
race.
out of that group. Yeah, he got mired in the back, and I was trying to keep up with everything that the guys were talking about on the broadcast, because I do like the way Steve Letarte and Burton kind of go back and forth as a crew chief and as a racer, and as the track is changing, what they might be going through. Not necessarily, they don't know exactly what they're going through. They're only going off of what they see and what they've been through in the NASCAR situation. But it gives you a lot of, just to me, it's more than just calling the race. You're kind of seeing the mindset of what maybe a racer's thinking, and what Letarte with crew chief is thinking. And again, Jeff Burton raced at a different time. Maybe in this car, it's I don't even know. Did Jeff Burton ever get into any of the next gen cars, or was he out
so.
before they got in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't think he's ever, other than, I'm pretty sure he's driven them, maybe, but not in a field like type, setting to where exactly how upset those cars get.
I don't remember ever seeing him do like a guest race like a Jimmy Johnson still does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, because to me, I love that, because it gets you that mindset. And we're going to discuss one situation already. I mean, we can dive into it because, again, like you said, the race was good. You had but the front half of the race, once somebody got in the lead, it seems like they kind of checked out, and then it got a little bit more racier when it needed to be. Like the second place car was okay being second until they weren't, and then they wanted to race again for the last 20 laps, trying to set up. As you said, it took a while to get by somebody. So if you were going to do it, you couldn't just wait, and you had to start setting it up. So you saw that throughout the race, and you saw a little bit of chippiness,
a little bit
amongst teammates,
Yeah,
but also again, it's funny though, because I think you saw it between the 12 and the 22 up in the front, but it wasn't as chippy as it got in 11th and 12th with Ty Gibbs in the 54, Denny Hamlin in the 11, and lo and behold, the 20 is right behind them going through all of this. And it could have been a lot worse than what actually happened. But ultimately, and I thought it was funny because I brought up the whole thing about Letarte and Burton really to hammer this fact home. Okay. They were watching this, and they're like, I've been watching this go on for the last 10 to 11 laps.
Yes.
I think the camera should stay with this, because I think something's going to go down in the next 5 to 10 laps, and it didn't take a corner. As soon as they got off the one corner, Hamlin went to go down. Gibbs kind of came down to take the air, whatever the racing terminology is, to kind of get him to slow back down. And then they went in the next corner, and he said, "Here it comes." You heard Letarte go, "Here it comes, here it comes," and you knew it. And Burton's like, "Bam," and he took him out. And then it was interesting too, because they both said they could see what the other one being in the right, though, because again, Gibbs is trying to do what's best for his team, and Hamlin is Gibbs trying to do what's best for his car team. Right. Hamlin's trying to do what's best for his car team, but then the overall JGR, you have the 11 and the 20 running for the championship.
Right.
And I think, look, if this is like 5 or 6 laps to go, and I think Jeff Burton hammered it home, where he said if this was 5, first through 5th place, it's a different story. But you're racing for 11 and 12th, and they're running for championship.
Right.
And it's like, and I get you want to race, you want to think. And I thought, again, it's frustration from Hamlin, but there's more there. It's more than just this race frustration.
Yes, absolutely.
As soon as he wrecks him, the first thing he says is, "Why are they scared to talk to him?"
Yeah, he did. That was absolutely.
And his crew chief, being the professional that he is like, I don't know anything about that. I'm worried about getting the most points for the 11 today.
Right. We're going to talk about that.
He knew whatever he said was going to set off a forest fire that might not be able to be contained. Then,
by the way, everybody's listening to us.
Yeah. In a way, not saying that, he's saying that. And then Gibbs comes out and he's like, I'm just looking forward to the next race, this and that. Then they race Hamlin. Hamlin's like, oh, my fault. This is after he talked to Gibbs, Joe Gibbs, that is.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, it was my fault. I took da-da-da and this and that. And it's like, look, the 11's my guy, man. And yeah, he got frustrated and this and that. But at the same time, how is it okay? You're running for a championship and you're holding up two of your cars. It wasn't like Gibbs was faster than them. They were trying to get around him. It just took time at New Hampshire because if you come down off the turn and you keep the guy pinned down, they can't take off. So you're actually hurting Gibbs Racing by doing what you think you're doing best for the 54. So I don't understand where that is, because at that point, I think if the 11 and the 20 get by there, they have more car to get to other
6,
parts
7.
During the race. Yeah, and then once that happened, then they went into the pits. Everybody came out the same way. And for some reason, the 11, I didn't watch all the other ones, but the 11, terrible on restarts. And I mean, he just dropped back as soon as the restarts happened. Then he'd have to work his way back up. Mm-hmm. And so the car was good. It's just something on the restarts. I don't know what it was, but it's like, I don't want to say like Gibbs was wrong in this, to the fact that we're like, but I don't know if there's more to the whole thing with the Gibbs organization. Like, why are they scared to talk to him? Almost insinuating, oh, that's coach's grandson. They're not going to do anything about it.
Right.
This is what I took from it.
Yeah. So I took that also that like this is, a nepotism type situation where he's saying, hey, listen, you got to talk to the kid. And they're afraid to do so because his last name is Gibbs. And maybe that's true. I don't know, obviously. But also, I think that had something to do with past experiences. We've seen Gibbs racing recently really hard, and that's good. You want him racing hard. But, you don't want you racing hard on your teammates when they're in the playoffs and you're not. So, like, for instance, what did we see out of Josh Berry and Ryan Blaney at the end? They both said what? They said, I was going to race him, but I was going to race him clean. And Ryan Blaney was like, I knew he was coming. I knew he was going to run me hard, but I didn't expect to get the bumper. Right. And he said, hey, thank you for not giving me the bumper when you could have.
Yeah. Barry is not in the playoffs anymore.
Right.
Blaney is. If he puts a bumper into him and he puts it too much, which again, if you watch it, Hamlin puts the bumper to him, but Gibbs is coming down.
Yes.
But it's on him out. So you take that chance. And again, like you're saying there, Barry was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to bump him. And then I don't know if I'm going to spin him out. I might not just send him up. I might send him out. And then look what I've done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my perception of the spin though, it wasn't necessarily so much on Denny, right? So if you watch the line that they're running, every line, whether you're starting up high or you're going down low, it's sort of like the top of a triangle. It's not really curved. You kind of start low, you veer up, you want to catch at the top at the apex there, and you want to turn, right? And then you get speed coming back down if you're able to catch it right. And realistically, what I saw Hamlin kind of riding up like normal, and I saw Ty Gibbs coming down, trying to squeeze him down, trying to slow him down, but also not really running the normal line because he should have been drifting up. He shouldn't have been coming down in that spot. Like, that's not the way the race was run. That's not the fastest line. Like, you were just trying to be stubborn and run this line and tried to hold him down. And, sometimes you get what you get. Now I did think that there was one part of it which I heard later from Denny, which was a little, I thought, unfair. And he was talking about how, we're trying to put banners up on the wall for Gibbs. Like, this is your last name, right? I didn't like that.
Yeah. I thought that was a little bit of a,
I didn't like that.
He's also racing too, I mean,
right.
Like, it's not like,
yeah, so the kid's 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, whatever how old he is, right? He's young. And yeah, his last name is Gibbs, but he's got to earn something. He's not just going to get it. And he's not the only Gibbs. It's not like he's guaranteed to take over Joe Gibbs Racing. He's the grandson. I mean, I'm sure this probably goes to his father or his uncle or
No, his
his aunt
father's
or somebody.
Was his father Ty Gibbs? No, that was Ty Gibbs or somebody totally different. Not Ty
I mean,
Gibbs. The other Gibbs. Wasn't there another the son that just passed away last year? I think right. Wasn't it last year?
I'm not sure. I don't
For
know
some
who his
reason,
father is. I don't
I'm
know.
thinking his name was Ty Gibbs too. Why am I mixing it up here?
I don't know. I can't imagine it goes straight to him. There's probably someone in between. And to me, also like it's kind of like the Earnhardt thing, right? Like, yeah, this is my dad's company or my grandfather's company, but I still got to earn something, right? Like Junior still had to go out there and earn. Ty Gibbs has still got to go out there and earn. I guess that maybe that's not necessarily true based off what we've seen from his brother. I would say he hasn't really earned, so maybe there is. Well, no, that's the wrong kid. I'm talking about Dylan. No, he's a Gibbs. He's got to earn or he's going to be gone.
Well, it was Coy Gibbs was his dad. That's the one that
Okay.
passed away right after he won the Xfinity Series championship. Ty Gibbs did, and he passed away in his sleep overnight.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait a minute. That's why I was thinking because Denny was very close to him.
Right.
Denny and Coy were very close, and I'm wondering if there's not a little bit of animosity, a little bit.
Like your dad would put you in your place. He's not here to do so.
Yeah, almost like granddad. He's not going to do what daddy would have done in a way.
Maybe.
Also, here's the other thing that I find funny in all this because, as you said, I mean, like Ty Gibbs is trying to prove himself too, and if you're just going to back down every time, and then the other thing I have with this whole thing is, if this isn't two Gibbs cars, we're not even talking about this. If this is him racing Joey Logano and Logano bumps him out, it's a non-story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and then also in the spin, it almost took the 20 out, which would have been disastrous. To me, I think it's a different story then because now not only did you take it's not even take advantage of, but you lost your emotion, you bumped one car out of the way, now you took out my other car.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could have gone a lot of different ways there.
Yeah, all three of you are running on top of each other. Like that could have.
Yeah, and I feel like there's all this pressure being put on Denny because, again, he said he's probably got 2 years left. And this is probably his best chance to win a championship. And in the first 3 races, Gibbs was running well. Denny ran very well. In this race, it wasn't there. And the Roval's not good for him.
I was about to say
it's
this.
like
This
you have Kansas next week, and it's like it's rough.
And everybody's
some of
shooting
that
for
is-
Kansas.
Yeah, and everybody is starting to build on him because he's like, hey, and the question I got another question for you there, Spence, because you follow this a lot closer than I do. Why do they reset the points every round? Why don't they just keep going with the points they have?
I don't know. It's a good question. Restart, refresh.
Because
Every round stands
especially
different.
for the playoff race. The guys in the playoffs, I mean, why do you go back and reset when you go to the next 3 races? They should keep.
I mean,
If
you
you
don't
do good in the first 3 races, you carry it over.
You don't carry your points with you from the last game on an NFL playoff game or an MLB game. They're supposed to be like series of games. So
But you're not
move on to the next
resetting then.
series.
But I mean, you're not resetting. So any advantage you had, you lose. Like that don't make sense. Then why? I mean, it's like go out there, try to win 1 race and go because it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to get reset to like 0 or I mean, I guess they keep their playoff point for winning a stage or whatever. You'll get to keep those. So you'll have that little bit of an advantage. But I remember, man, were we still stage racing that one time when was it Harvick or one of them winning with like a 75-point lead going into the first round of the playoffs? He had like 75 points built up.
Wow.
I feel like that was maybe before stage racing, but like they were like he could have went for 2 races without even racing and still been not out of the playoffs.
I don't even remember
like,
Kevin Harvick really doing stage racing. I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't remember if he was in that era.
I want to say it was Kevin Harvick, but I may be wrong.
I mean,
I may have
Harvick
just
hasn't been
made
gone
that
that
up.
long, so he
I
probably was. But I feel like one left and one started around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but again, this is going to be very interesting. And I haven't seen anything come out as far as like from a Gibbs standpoint on the. I've been trying to keep up, but I've also been busy doing other things, so I may have missed it. It may have been just a quick blur or something and move
So
on.
the
But I haven't
only
seen anything come down.
I haven't seen anything today. So
Yeah.
yesterday, Joe Gibbs was questioned about it, and he gave an answer which was really kind of a cop out, which is fine. What would you expect? And he said, listen, I'm the owner, but when it comes between the drivers, like I always feel like they have the wheel, and I have to kind of let them do what they're going to do. So this is between them. They're the drivers. We'll get together tomorrow. We'll figure it out. But this is their problem, not mine. Essentially, is what he said.
Yeah, but he's the one that, and as Steve Letarte said, this is a kind of crossroads for JGR because this affects a lot of things going forward. Because if they're going to let him keep driving like that, and do you want to be a teammate with that? Especially if what I
Especially if
get
you're
from
a
him
team
is
owner.
Hamlin, yeah, and he's not being held accountable. Like, do you want to be that teammate to where, okay, this guy does whatever he wants, and I have to sit here and try to race as a teammate with this guy?
Especially when you're a
Like,
team owner, your team equipment has been looking pretty good, and you've got a kid over there sitting on your team by the name of Riley Earps that can easily just be gone.
yeah,
Like, I
he
mean,
must be
that's
Ty
that.
Gibbs' buddy, right? He's Ty Gibbs' best friend or something.
Maybe.
Granddaddy, I gotta get this boy signed up here. I want to find out. Let me see what Riley Herbst
He probably. I
has on
feel like
him.
he must have raced well in the under series. Like, is Riley Earps the Corey Heim of 3 years ago and just didn't work out?
Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. So he drove the Joe Gibbs 18 in the ARCA, and that's kind of where he worked up. His teammate was Ty Gibbs during
Oh
that
wow.
run in ARCA.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if those kids have been running together for years. That's totally speculation, but still.
oh no, but Herbst
A
is
lot of these
running.
dudes, they all grow up together.
He's with 2311. Herbst is
That's what I'm talking
2311
about.
though. My fault.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like Denny has a
yeah,
kid there that's really not racing well, and you know that your
yeah,
equipment is good. If JGR's not working out, you're a team owner. You can just go race on your own team.
yeah. But he's just signed a 2-year deal, so he's there for 2 more years.
Deals can
If
be
he would have
broken when
waited,
both sides want out.
that's true. That's true.
If
He'll
both
switch
sides
out.
want out,
Herbst goes to the 11, Hamlin over to the 35.
it would be funny
I
to
can't
see
buy
someone
no
else drive.
30.
It'd be funny to see someone else drive the 11 while he was on the the
Man,
team
I
owner of
could
the
not. I
2311
get
team.
so confused on some of those things. Yeah, man. I think he'd probably
Pretty
try to
bad.
buy the number.
Ah, damn. It's 32.
No, he's
Oh,
32.
I can remember the number.
32, yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it earlier. Finn Sammy, thank you, sir. Papa's in there as well. Thank you if you're watching on X, if you're on Twitch, and we even got the Facebook page going today.
Hey,
So
hey.
if you're watching us on Stanley Media House Facebook page, please make sure you hit the like. You're gonna get the live talk going on now. Anything live on Talking Racing Now, plus anything that gets posted will be hitting that Facebook page, Stanley Media House. That is the only place on Facebook that I go. So if you need to get a hold of me on Facebook or anything else, make sure you go to Stanley Media House because everything else, it's there just to be fluff because I have to have it. So anything else from the race that I thought the lobster was a little small this time. Nice size
I didn't,
claws,
I didn't see the
but it was
lobster.
a little bit small to me. It looked the body looked like it had been eaten on the vegan diet.
I
It looked
I
like
didn't
an
see the
inch-shaped
lobster. Yeah.
lobster. The last time
Where
I've seen like guys holding it like this one was almost like, his hands were kind of close together. Usually they're holding it, not sure where they got this one from.
How close to
But this is
Canada
the
is
race
this racetrack?
Oh, that I don't know.
Because
It's in
I
New
was
Hampshire. New Hampshire close.
yeah. Parts of it are, New Hampshire it's some of it's down by Connecticut, some of it's up north near Canada, like it's some of it's abrupt near Maine. Um, so it's kind of like a north and south state that's real skinny. But yeah, I just noticed they sang the Canadian national anthem. The guy from the Bruins came in and he sang the Canadian national anthem before he did the Star Spangled Banner, which is fine, but Generally, they do that when like they're either close or it's hockey.
Yeah. No, yeah. Was there any Canadian drivers racing?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Are any of them Canadian?
Oh,
I don't really know where they're from most of the time, to be honest with you. Some of the more international guys I know where they're from because everybody makes a big deal out of it, but like I don't know. Like I have no idea where Riley Herbst is from. If I had to guess, I would say Charlotte just because it makes sense.
so this distance from New Hampshire Raceway to Toronto is 582 driving, 393 flying. But
Well, Toronto's way by Buffalo. Yeah, it's way west.
Yeah, so it's probably not a good thing.
No, if you're going north of New Hampshire, you're going up to Quebec.
I put New Hampshire Raceway to Canada distance, and nothing is coming up good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, New Hampshire, like I said, it's pretty far south. It's like a north-south state, so like it goes from up and lateral.
They're 5 hours from Montreal.
Okay.
That looks like that might be the actual closest big state from there. But that's just from New Hampshire airport to there. So I don't know where the raceway, for some reason, it doesn't take the raceway. So it must have a different name or
wherever
something.
It was,
but,
wherever it is.
It's not far. It's not terrible far. So
wherever it is, it's rural. I can say that.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it was heavily wooded out there.
Up top. Yeah, and they do the shot up top. It's like, okay, there's nothing here.
Yeah, that's
that track where you're driving.
Forest.
You're like, yeah. It's like taking the media entrance to Homestead. The way they send you on the media, you're driving through these like cornfields and all these big, high, overgrown things, and it's on dirt roads, and you're like, I'm going to get beat up, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's the raceway. The only funny thing is you usually see the drivers. The drivers are doing their biking by you. Like it's always like, like they got the team and they're all biking together and like it's pretty cool, but it is very like, is this GPS right? Like it's taking me this way, and it sure enough boop, pops up and like, oh, there's the racetrack. Okay.
Homestead is a weird place. Like Florida generally is really crowded, and then for some reason you get south of Miami and like there's this relatively wide open space. It's not overpopulated. It's country. It's agricultural, and you would think that like people would have figured out like, oh, by the way, Homestead is, I don't know, just like the rest of South Florida. But I don't know. As long as I want it to stay that way. It's nice. It's quaint.
Yeah, well,
I
actually,
wouldn't say it's nice. It's quaint.
Sent me a rendering. I don't know how true it is, but it looks like Miami FC is going to be building a soccer stadium in Homestead.
And why wouldn't you
have that down there? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of land.
That's where land is cheap. Yeah. And if you want South Miami to come, you need to put it near South Miami, not near Broward.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. For this race, let me get the results. I had the wrong ones up. The results of the race: Ryan Blaney was your winner, Josh Berry second, William Byron third, Logano fourth, Chase Elliott fifth, Christopher Bell, the best finishing Toyota, in sixth, Larson, McDowell, Chastain, and Chase Briscoe finished out your top 10. And the interesting thing in this whole thing was Joey Logano got 52 points, Ryan Blaney 57, William Byron 50, and then a lot of the playoff drivers, not necessarily a good stage points and everything else. Chase Elliott finished fifth, which would give him 35 points. He finished with 36 total. So he got one stage point. Right. Christopher Bell, the same thing. Denny Hamlin got no points through the whole race. He finishes 12th. He gets 28 points, which 40 minus 12, 28. So he basically got no stage points in this race. So a lot of playoff drivers, didn't finish badly, but they also didn't have the point day, and that's why now the points battle looks like this. Ryan Blaney jumps 4 spots and is number 1. William Byron is number 2. Larson 3. Bell 4th. Denny Hamlin dropped from 1 to 5th. Joey Logano up 4 spots. He looked like he was on life support last round. Now he's up 4 spots already to 6th. Chase Elliott at 7th. Chase Briscoe drops 2 to 8, which would be the cutoff. And then you have Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, and Wallace to finish out the top 12 right now. So you got that. That's Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, and Wallace. And Reddick and Wallace, the 2311 cars, did nothing.
Yeah, they didn't look good.
The only time they were mentioned was when they were going to the back.
Yeah, they got, Bubba on the radio saying essentially that it was embarrassing. That was about it.
Yeah, no, it just felt like they had nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like when they showed them up against other cars, it was the other car. Like, again, maybe it's driving style. Maybe it's, because, again, there's certain things you can do on the track to where, you can cause things to happen, but it just felt like there was nothing there for those cars. To be honest with any of the Toyotas, Christopher Bell had a little run up toward the front and then it fell off once that he got like a good little run and then it just fell back. Like that was it. So Kansas it is, my friend.
And we've seen the Toyotas be very dominant recently, so it was definitely a change of pace.
Yeah. Yep. It's good. Hopefully they can clip those heels together and no place like home, no place like home, no place like home. Because you don't want to bank on the Roval. You do not want to bank on the Roval. You want to go into the Roval with a nice point, differential from you going to below that cut line. I get it. Most people probably won't be able to, unless they win, they won't be able to clinch a spot in the next round. But you want to be that close enough to where it's like, okay, all I got to do is run well and I'm in, instead of having to be like in the top 10, because the Roval is nobody's friend for some reason. I don't know why, but nobody has really necessarily figured everything out at that track. There always seems to be something that gets somebody. The start going into the tires, you miss a turn, you miss that last turn, you got to stop and wait for people. Like,
right,
always seems to happen at this racetrack. And to be honest, it doesn't look as difficult as the other road courses. If you look at the schematics of it, it doesn't look like they should be having the problems they have if they don't have those problems there. But I think it has to do with that whole speed. It's the speed that you can pick up around that turn to go back in, and then you're just like, oh wait, that's right. I've got to be back down to this to hit all these turns, and it's like,
well, it's also the setup in the car, right? Like it's a third of a speedway and 2/3 of a road course, essentially, right? Like, so are you just going to ignore the speedway part? Like that could be the win right there. That probably has to do with the setup and getting it mixed. But if I'm some of the lower drivers, for instance, my guy, Mr. Cindric or Bubba, like I'm looking at the Roval like a fucking pastrami sandwich, like covered in mustard on rye. I want that, because I need a wild card. That's what I need. I don't know, Chase Briscoe because he's on the cut line to, I don't know, pop a tire or run into the wall or miss the turn or get a penalty and, fall back 20 spots. This is what I need to win or to advance and move on to the next place where I feel like I have a better chance. And everybody said it. They're all looking at Kansas, right? Not everybody's going to do well at Kansas. Not everybody can win Kansas.
I'm looking at the numbers right now. And to be honest with you, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace are almost mathematically eliminated.
No.
Right now, you've got, maybe not.
No, if you're Bubba Wallace and you win 2 stages and get 5th in the race, you're back in.
When has he done that?
He won a race not that long ago. He wins stages all the time.
Kansas.
I'm not going to beat up on. I know I beat up on Bubba, but I'm not going to do it right now. He's been running.
No. What I'm saying though is they are 27 and 23 points behind. You don't expect a playoff driver to not like that feels like a lot of points to go to Kansas and the Roval, hoping that somebody loses that, and you have to almost be perfect, and you have to hope that somebody up there forgets how to race.
Which is why you want the Roval, because that's the wild card.
Yeah,
it's possible.
You're gonna have to win, I guess. I mean, if you win, you're in. But I mean, I look at all these other cars, and at least looking at the top 8, I don't think any of them run terrible at Kansas.
Right, but let's say you're Tyler Reddick. You're 23 points back at Chase Briscoe, right? I mean, you can if you gain 10 points on him, you're down 13. You can easily get 13 in a race. I mean, we saw what happened to SVG. We saw how quickly these playoff points can change. If you're
Yeah, but that's
but
again,
Denny,
that's
what did
SVG
Denny
to
what
me.
did
That's
Denny
like
finish? What did Denny
uh,
finish again? 11th, 12th?
12th,
He had a
12th. He
decent
dropped
run,
4
right?
spots.
A decent run. He got one. He
Yeah,
got
decent
one
spot, but
stage
he had
point.
no stage points. He got no stage points.
Right. And then let's say Joey Logano, who didn't win the race, but I don't know, got fifth and had some stage points, got like 50 points. I mean, that's 22 points right there. That's
Yeah.
his entire deficit. Like and there's 2 of these races. Nobody's out.
I just think I don't see anybody in the top 8 having a bad race. I can see all them getting points too. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
It's not an insurmountable lead, but it's almost like a must win for the fact that are any of those guys going to have that race where they don't get stage points, they don't finish well, and then you can sneak in there? Because again, if they get stage points and they keep doing their thing that they have to do, that's where I'm saying to me it seems like an insurmountable. Whereas like with SVG, he just kept throwing bad. Which again, now when you
it was the first race, he was already below the cut line.
Yeah,
The first race, he was already down there.
Yeah, because he finished 32nd in that race. And it's like
Ty Gibbs could put Denny in the wall. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's only 8 points, and he gets no stage points. Think about that. SVG only got like 8 points in the first race, and all these others are getting 45, 46, and that's how, again, that's the stage points. Maybe the strategy for these guys would be, okay, if some of these guys want to win the race, maybe they don't do well in the stages. We'll do well in the stages and hope we're around for a decent finish, as you said, and they can add up the stage points to the finish points, and it might lead something. But man, it just, I'm looking at this, I'm just like, they ended up with.
We're going to a fast track. People, we may get a big accident in Kansas. We don't know.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, I'm just looking
at. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen a fast track and a big accident.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one since the Daytona race.
No, it's true. It's true. It
Where
could be in
Bubba
Atlanta. It could be like Atlanta again. It could be Atlanta when the whole friggin' field got taken out almost, and everybody's
brackets got ruined. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's scrambling. Damn it.
We ended up with Ty Dillon versus
Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs won it. The dude wins $1 million and thinks he can just wreck everybody.
Maybe that's what it is. He's got $1 million. He feels strong. He's like, yo, you didn't win the in-season tournament, okay, Denny Hamlin? I've got more championships than you do.
Not only that, Denny, I beat the guy that beat you.
It's true.
How about them apples, buddy?
How about them apples? Are they red or green? I don't know.
Well, now they're green, man, because there's a little sour going on between them, man. Sweet red apples, buddy. Let me tell you that much right now.
That's true, though. We don't know what's going to happen next week as far as, like, with Denny, right? Like, if Ty stays out of his way, Denny's got shit to do. He's probably going to leave him alone. But I don't know what Ty Gibbs is going to do.
I don't know that, because when he after the wreck, he's sitting in his car and he said, "Game on." He said, "Game on."
Game on. Yeah, game on.
That doesn't sound like this is going on. Bro. Yeah, that don't sound like, hey, okay, all right, cool, we're good.
I mean, all we heard from Ty was a canned response that made no sense to the question, which good on him for doing that, because it was hilarious.
No, he wasn't going to say anything. He's just like, I can't wait to get the car back in. I feel bad for my team. We're looking forward to Kansas.
So what do you have to say about Denny Hamlin spinning you and then running you on the wall? Nothing. He didn't even say nothing. He just totally ignored it.
That's what Steve Letarte and him. He's like, dude, JGR PR people need the great job they did of making sure nothing was said. Because believe it or not, like, I honestly, that's the first time I've heard racers not in the interview, like be like, say
Address
something.
it. Right.
Yeah, something. It's like, no. And then again, they did, as Joe Gibbs was over at Hamlin's car as soon as Hamlin pulled in.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what was said there. Again, it's like, I don't know.
There was some statements made and there was a response. And then I saw them both just standing next to each other, not looking at each other. And yeah, it's a split screen. You've got Ryan Blaney on one side and you've got, they're talking to each other.
It looked uncomfortable. It looked uncomfortable. It looked like he was saying something. Hamlin had heard enough and just started looking straight ahead, and the coach was still talking, and Hamlin's just staring at whatever. I don't know what. It's just a very looking like, oh, this is what I knew was going to happen in a way. Like I called it in the car, didn't I? I called it in the car, right?
Yeah.
I told you what was going to happen here, right? This is exactly what I knew was going to happen. So. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I think Letart's right though. It's really going to be again, I'm not going to say it's going to be like there's going to have to be a line drawn here going forward with this, as far as it just can't be like, hey, drivers, you guys go out there and handle it, because I can tell you what's going to happen next race. Hamlin's going to get hooked.
Yeah,
and then what are you going to do? Because you just wrecked one of your cars that's probably one of the favorites for a championship. And if you take him out of there, he's probably not getting out of the round of 12.
Right. And he's got the rest of the season to mess with you.
Then you'll have to say something, though. But at that point, you force Grandpa to say something to you.
Right.
Because now you just cost him money. It's not the other way around this time, where you took out my grandson. Mm-hmm. And this and that. No, you took out a championship race car. That was probably our best chance to win, because you said game on. So, like, to me, something's got to be addressed more than just being like, oh, they're drivers, they'll figure. No.
I'm sure it was. There's something going on.
That says to me that you're giving me carte blanche, Grandpa. I'm going out there and I'm taking him out. I'll hit him once, and if he goes, he goes. How about that?
You think they got a couples counselor in there today?
Oh man,
they tell each other what they appreciate about what they appreciate about each other.
They're probably still at JGR right now with a bonfire outside, singing "Kumbaya" and everything else.
Yeah, I'd hand him a fifth of whiskey and a couple of joints and tell him to figure it out.
Yeah, see what happens. Go figure it out.
See where you end up. You got all week to figure it out. But start.
And if you don't like the way it ends up that night,
mm-hmm.
pop them with a piss test the next morning. They're both suspended anyways.
Are they not allowed to smoke weed? Is that NASCAR rule?
I think so. And there's drug testing, right? You can't just have people out there racing cars.
I mean, you could let them use meth. That would be good. It's good for truckers. It's probably good for race car drivers. I bet it would be excellent. I bet the racing would be awesome.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
they'd be so locked in.
The Meth Head 300 next week.
Dude, I'm
at
down.
Kansas.
Yes. Brought to you by methamphetamine. Yes. Let's do it.
You have the yellow brick road going across the thing and everything.
We're getting back to our roots now. Before we leave the track, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
All right. So I wore this hat today. I've worn it before, but Ricky Craven, a racer from the 90s, or I think into the early 2000s. I believe he started in the 80s, but his 90s were his heyday. And I wore this hat because he was the pace car driver. So I saw that and figured I had to wear the hat today to give him a little throw out.
Digging through the hats, huh?
Yeah. Digging through the hats.
Wait, I got a Ricky Craven hat. I got to get that.
Hey, I bought this on eBay from somebody who didn't want it anymore for like $10. So
there you go.
And it's clean.
They weren't craving Ricky Craven, huh?
Yeah, they didn't want it anymore. It's okay.
It happens. All right, we're going to do our weekly 4 in, 4 out for 8 through 12. No, sorry, 9 through 12. Any movement this week you think that any of them go out? Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, Walsh are your bottom 4.
So I'm looking up top, right? If I think anybody's going to pop out, it's hard to say with Briscoe because he's either really good or he's kind of back in the back, right? He kind of does the Bubba Wallace thing. He doesn't really run in the middle. Chase Elliott had a good race, but he started poor. I felt like he had a good run, but he hasn't been running well recently.
No.
So I feel like if there's anybody
Not a
that's going to
complete
pop
race.
out, yeah.
He's
If
been
there's anybody that's going to
racing in moments.
if there's anybody that's going to fall out, it's going to be Chase Elliott. And if we're going to Kansas, I mean, I'm going to say Ross Chastain is probably going to pop up into the top 8. Outside of that, I don't see Cedric Reddick or Wallace moving out of the bottom. I could see them gaining points and getting in a better position, and I could see them switching up amongst themselves. But I would say Chase Elliott's going to fall out of the top 8, probably to 9th or 10th. And we're going to see Ross Chastain come up into the 8th or 7th spot.
You know what's interesting? I went to look to see Ross Chastain won this race last year.
I know.
I think that is a very, very comfortable pick to say because, again, I feel like they have opportunities to win. They just can't put a full race together. So yeah, I could see that happening. I could see a repeat at Kansas.
And what race did Chastain win earlier this year?
Hold on a minute. I just want to look at what Kansas went last year. So here we go. Remember to your playoff drivers because this might come in handy here. Ross, this is the top 10 last year at Kansas. Ross Chastain, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., which is now the 19 car, which is Briscoe. Not saying he would run the same, but Blaney was 4th. Ty Gibbs was 5th. Alex Bowman 6th. Christopher Bell 7th. Denny Hamlin 8. Chase Elliott 9. Zane Smith 10. And then now here's where it gets a little weird. Chris Buescher 11th, Austin Dillon 12, Daniel Suarez 13, Joey Logano 14. Bubba Wallace finished 17. Looking for the 21 finished 23rd. Tyler Reddick finished 25th at this race. Kyle Larson finished 26th in this race last year. Austin Cindric finished 34th in this race last year, and Josh Berry at the time was driving the 4. He was in an accident, and he didn't complete the race. He had a DNF in the 4, and Yaley had an electrical issue. Every other car was still running in the race last year. So there's where your playoff racers ran, and I got to say, I think that pick is pretty safe. I think Chastain will run well. Larson didn't run well here, but he has been running better lately. But again, if he finishes 36th in this race, this time, you're going to drop too. And right now he is
3rd.
Yeah, he won't fall that far. He's 41 points ahead of the cut. Mm-hmm. So it would take a couple races for him. But again, you have a bad one here and a bad one. We've seen it happen. But again, that means Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, and Wallace will have to have that much better of a race, which could happen. Could happen. I mean, Chastain won this race last year. He wins the race this year. He's automatically up there. He's in 2nd place now, and you bump Briscoe out. So,
and he won Charlotte this year.
Happen.
And Chastain won Charlotte this year, which is a very similar racetrack. It's about a mile and a half. It's a racetrack. It's an oval. It's fast. It's a similar racetrack. It's high banks, high speed. It's a place Ross Chastain can win.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Interesting time for sure. This Sunday, it will be very interesting at Kansas. The Dolphins don't play till Monday night, so I'll be able to have a full cup of tea. We'll have to discuss next week. We got to figure out how we're going to be able to do the show. Maybe we do it a little bit earlier if you can. I don't know what your schedule's like. We're talking it out on air. Just text me. Fine. Let me know what works for you. And
are you excited for the toilet bowl?
Oh yeah, of course, man. Of course, Monday Night Football. It's got to be. Come on, yeah, I'm on.
If this was any later in the season, it'd be flexed.
Yes, 100%. 100%. What are we, a combined 0-6 going into the game?
That's right.
Yeah, but man, that Glenn can dance though, boy. Glenn, he was ready. He had the dance down and yeah. Too bad they left time on the clock. That sucks, man. That sucks, really. Like that close. Even after the clock hit 0, he's like, God, it was that close.
It wouldn't be Tampa if they didn't have to. If Baker didn't have to lead a game-winning drive.
Yeah.
It's 3-0 and 3 game-winning drives under 2 minutes this year. It's incredible. It's things Tua could never do.
Yeah.
Well, not could never do. Can't do consistently.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. It's also, you got a better team, man. It's a better team. I'm not going to, Tua looked terrible. Tua's looked terrible in terrible spots, but.
It is a better team, but Baker makes things happen.
No, he does. But he's always done that. That's his moxie. I mean.
I know. He's got moxie.
He's not good at any one thing. He's the runt. Like, he's just there to fight. He just fights and fights and fights. And it's going to come good or it's going to go bad. But either way, he's going to be there till the 000s hit, biting ankles or kneecaps, whichever one, if you want to be Dan Campbell, because I think he's playing here in a little bit. So,
yep, they'll be on soon.
All right, Spence. Yeah, let them know where they can see you and talk to you and everything else.
Right on. Well, you can see me here at Talking Racing Now, Mondays with the great Sean Stanley at 7 p.m. You can also find me on X at NoldOut87. You can find me on these YouTube streets hanging out, some Big O sometimes, some Squared Circle Digest every once in a while. Some other places, mostly Dolphins places. But yeah, man, if you want to talk to me, hit me up on X at NoldOut87.
There it is. And you can catch me at Stanley Media _11 on X. The Facebook page, Stanley Media House. Go check it out. Like it, follow it, everything else. That's where the live shows will be going also from now on. And of course, the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. We are now 75 away from going over 1,000. And I need to get watch hours up. But we are 75 away from going over 1,000. So if we can get more subscribers, appreciate it. If you like what you heard, send it over to friends, anything like that, neighbors, people you don't like. If you didn't like it, send it to people you don't like. Maybe they'll like it and they'll subscribe. Either way, we thank each and every one of you that was on with us. Don't forget, you got Monday Night Football coming up and Raw already an hour in. No commercials. I love it, baby. We are talking racing now, and we'll see you next Monday. Time to be determined, but make sure you set those notifications because you know what you'll get? A notification saying we live. And right now, we out.